Alright. So,
Alright.
chapter 14,
Yeah.
you should read that.
I can't read.
skimmed through it a little bit.
I know literally.
I'm not really sure what it's about. Yeah.
What the-
Standard Black.
Beat Generation. Today, we're going to talk about the influences that started the Beat Generation all the way to the generation's influences today. Beats and the Beatnik generation, some of their very major people were John Mayer, Tupac, Generation B. Yes, sir.
Mr. Standard Black, I thought we were talking about the beat subculture in the 1950s. You know, the apparent interest in sexuality, the rejection of contemporary writing, and the acceptance of Eastern religion.
Great point, but see, the beatnik generation started with some people who thought it'd be a great idea to make instruments like drums with beats and stuff like that. And actually, that's where the 4/4 time signature first started. It was coined from Gandhi.
Well, actually, Mr. Standard Black, it was Jack Kerouac who coined the term beat generation in 1948 in a conversation that he was having with John Holmes, where he said, "So I guess we're just the beat generation."
Well, great point, but well, it started because of the Great Migration of 1942, when the meerkats started running away from their homes because
Actually, Mr. Standard Black, one of the big influences was World War II, because after the war ended, many people were feeling like constricted, so they wanted a change in society. So the Beat Generation was honestly just a cry for change, and so that's what the Beat Generation did. They went on, and as I have here in my paper, that the people in this time felt tension between the Cold War brought, and so they needed a way to regenerate themselves and be their own type of culture, and that's why it's a subculture called the Beats.
well, all right. So some of the influences of the beatnik generation were, well, besides the new instruments that were coming about, like the Zimbabwe and the drum set.
Also, the media was a huge influence on the beat generation. The media drove people away from the beat lifestyle by wrongly portraying them as the stereotypical, shallow, anti-materialistic, jazz-listening hipsters.
Jazz was a major influence for the beatnik generation, for their writers. I mean, Jack Kerouac, he really enjoyed the spontaneity of the jazz rhythm and the music, and he put those aspects in his writings. And Allen Ginsberg, he used jazz in a different way, like how in which he talks about the jazz and black culture. You know, he mentions running with Negroes and being Negro and embracing the whole jazz rhythm that this culture has, this music incorporates. And amongst the jazz, they did drugs.
Actually, yeah, drugs were a major influence of the Beat Generation. They viewed it as an enlightenment when they were writing, so they thought that it could help them write better. Especially LSD and marijuana were a major effect of the Beat Generation.
Well, major aspect of this whole beatnik generation. Well, I would have to say Beatnik himself. He was very well known for his beats. Yes.
Although Beatnik isn't a person,
I think the obscenity trials against the publication of Howl might be an important aspect of the Beat Generation because the themes in the poem paralleled a lot of the themes in the Beat Generation, like sex and drugs and foul language and such, and the trials themselves diverted a lot of attention from family values to the Beat Generation.
Well, the Beatnik generation, today, it's influential in the sense that the music and the young crowd nowadays, they're really starting to thank this generation for what they have, and well, I mean, yes, sir.
Mr. Standard Black, actually, it's changed what is acceptable and is appropriate to talk about in society, and also it's changed what is the stereotypic family and what the image of a family should be.
Well, I'm very glad we had class today. I can tell you guys really learned today, and you guys are really progressing. I'm very proud of you guys.
Mr. Sanderblatt,
Yes, ma'am?
how many professors in this room did not read the assignment?
Not this one.
You need to go home and read.
Goodbye.
Watermelon.
I might need this. Professor Sanderwall.
I know, right?
Could you just throw it out there?